Presidency speaks on bullion in Tinubu's residence. The chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption, PACAC, Isai SAN, has said Bola Tinubu was already wealthy before holding public office. Coincides News understands that Sagi said this in a reaction to calls for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) to probe Tinubu over a bullion SIM conveying cash to his home on the eve of the 2019 election. Sage noted, however, that Tinubu, a former governor of Lagos State, had in the past used his personal money to help some politicians in the past. Tinubu was already very rich before he became governor. He is not a man who became rich after he joined the government, he told Daily Trust Friday. He worked in the petroleum sector. I recall that during the course of his fight with Abacha, he had to escape for his life in order to join so many other people like Anthony Enahoro, Wole Soyinka, and many others pro-democracy activists. Tinubu was the one funding quite a lot of the organizations and those staying abroad, so he has always been a man of means. It will be ridiculous that, having come back to the country, won't he invest his money into various ventures? So no one should be surprised that he is a rich man. All I know is that he is rich from his own hard work, investments, and therefore he should be given the benefit of the doubt instead of being subjected to the persecution which some people want him to be subjected to. Wow, can you see the kind of a country that we are? So does that give right to break law? Does that give right, to have seen two bullion vans in his home, in his residence on the eve of election? When we talk about moral, not to talk of money laundering policy and laws. Can you hear what this this professor has been controversial? Let me just put it that way. That's the simple term I can really describe him. Most times he always say things opposite, things that ordinarily. Let's even leave the issue of being a professor or not a professor, but ordinarily as an elder, for somebody who is responsible, for somebody who has integrity, not to talk of a professor, saying all this kind of a thing. Was that a question he was being asked? So who is trying to prosecute him? Who is trying to subject him? And who is trying to persecute him? That is the way they are saying it. We are talking about money laundering. That is what we are talking about. Whatever he did with the money, or the reason why the money was brought to his house. No, we are not even talking about that. By the time they get to court, at least they will be able to iron all of those things out. But for you to say he already has money, so if he has money, so what does that mean? And so what? So because he has money, he can flout the law of money laundering. The same thing when you talk about article, somebody will come and justify. Because at times, things are so glaring to everybody, these guys will turn it upside down. But if it were to be Atiku or his son-in-law, you will see it the way these guys will be talking. You know what? At times when people are always saying that those APC supporters, the way they say some things at times, you try to ask yourself that these people, are they for real? You can imagine what a professor is saying, that he has his money before he joined politics. That is not what we are talking about. We have a lot of rich people. Even the Dangote that we are talking about, even if you don't want to go into nitty-gritty of how he got his money or how he did with his business, but does that give him the right to go against money laundering law? Is that what we are talking about? 2 billion vans. You see that they would try to share the main issue and be saying something else. Who is talking whether he has money or he never had money? See the way they are trying to justify the whole thing. You can imagine that some people want him to be persecuted and they want to subject him to that. If really, petition has been written against him, let him go there and defend himself. Is that the way they are treating everybody? Is that the way they want the country to go? Is that the way they want people to be law abiding? And to crown it all, this man, Isai Sage, is the chairman of the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption. And this man is saying this. If this person, Tinubu, was to be in an opposition party, what would have happened? Will Ise Sage be saying the same thing? And that is just what is happening. If you are among the ruling class, nothing, everything covers, you are covered. You are just covered. All of these kind of statements are so embarrassing. These are the things they want the younger ones to be listening to. They will justify things that are so glaring, things that are not right. As an elderly person, majority of them in his, people of his age, that's the way most of them, the way most of them, they try to cover up the truth at this age and time. So unfortunate. Of course, when I just heard what the statement of this man, I was just like, can you imagine? And these are the people that, this man is supposed to be a grandfather, and children will be listening to this. Are these the things that are going to be teaching people, expecting children to learn? At the end of the day, they will be blaming the children, because children are seeing, the youth are seeing what these guys are doing. They see the way they handle issues, and you expect them to respect you. You expect them to do the right thing. When you guys, even if you are not involved in bad things, but when you see people involved in things that are not okay, that you need to correct them, but you try to twist them because they are from your side, because you are affiliated, because you are related in one way or the other, whether politically or irrespective of how affiliated you are to that person, and you begin to turn issues around. Can you imagine asking you a question? You are saying he already has his money before he joined politics. So does that give him that right to have, for bullion vans to have been seen in his house? If it were to be ordinary, all these younger people, all those youth, you guys will tell them that they are not serious. You will tell them they don't have a respect, they don't have morals and all of that. How would they have morals? How would they have how would they be cultured when they see elders that are supposed to say things the way they are, but they try to cover it up? So unfortunate. Let them continue. Posterity will judge all of them all. Posterity will judge all of them all. Let them continue. They think they are smart. To them, they think they are smart. And no, there's nothing anybody can do to them. They are in power. There is nothing anybody can do to them. The question is that if this particular man, is from the opposition party, would they have treated him this way? And those people that are supporting them, continue supporting them. It's good to support people, but once they go wrong, once they deviate, you still need to tell them, no, things are not done this way. If other people come again, they are in power and they go through all of this. And the worst part of it is that, like we always say, setting some examples, setting some things on ground. By the time other people come, they will build on it. They will even build more than what these guys are doing. That is what they don't know. And that time, you will be at the other side and you will not be complaining. So unfortunate and so pathetic. And these are the things that the whole world will be hearing. See the way they are justifying things. You also be, so it then means that you guys don't have law. He can take money as much as he wants. He can flaunt it the way he wants, and he will not be questioned. And even if people are asking questions, you don't want them to ask questions. Those are the reasons why they are coming up with all this hate speech bill and all of that. You can imagine. What does he want people to learn from Tinubu with that singular action? Like I said, posterity will judge all of them all. Let them continue. Let them continue. It is well with the souls of Nigerians. Someone says, I thought this man is a professor. More often than not, he talks like, a motor packed out. The fact that Tinubu worked in the oil industry and already rich does not warrant his employing a bullion van to peddling huge sum of cash, especially on the day of election. What a shame. Someone said, you can write whatever you like. Politics is part of the game. Professor, please just keep quiet. You can't speak for Tinubu. Do you have all his records of service? You can't defend what you have little information about. Why then do you arrest people who have never worked in government and ask them to explain their source of wealth or accuse them of money laundering? Of course, as an APC chieftain, Tinubu can never be investigated. May I remind you what Oshomole, the APC chairman, said? Come over to APC and your sins will be forgiven. So, Sage, you do not need to give excuses why Tinubu has not been investigated over the bullion van saga. Nigerians knows why. Someone said, I am ashamed of the double tongue of Sage. It is not about being rich. It is about what the cash was being ferried for on an election eve. Was he supposed to be keeping bullion van with cash in his house? When we are private homes, private home turns into banks to keep cash, and for what purpose? Please reserve your biased nepotic sermon for the Marines. Surely judgment day shall come before those who speak with forked tongue and called to glory to hell. Someone says, rich man nonsense. That is Lagos State. That is Lagos State money. Ole barao. Something this government official don't know is that Nigerians are wiser now. So Sagi, keep talking. We are listening. What about article in law that EFCC arrested? Did he hold any public office before you guys arrested him? Go with George. Patient Jonathan, she was a very wealthy woman before she became the first lady of Nigeria, and I don't know why EFCC is after her and her family and her property. Pot is calling kettle black. Sage, why are you making hate speech? Remember, hanging is the answer. You are a man of two faces, no integrity, fool at 40. Up, Sage, Omo Naija. Sage, I don't know. So unfortunate. Mr. Sage, or waiting be your name. If it were a PDP person, uh, would you be saying this? You called yourself a professor of law. How much does the law permit an individual to have in his possession at any point in time? 5 million naira anytime above that should be made through the bank. Don't deceive us by telling us stories of somebody is rich or not. Is Atiku not a rich man? Then why is his son being prosecuted for giving Obasanjo money that is not even up to 5 or to fill 1 billion van? So guys, you've heard it all. I would like to hear from you what you make up of a Professor Ese Sage saying Tinubu has been a rich man before he joined politics. So people are just do people want to subject him to be persecuted? Leave your comments below in the comment section. Thank you very much. Bye.